Number 6, Clemson, 21-11. They're out of the ACC. Versus number 11, New Mexico, 26-9. I was pretty caught off guard when they said that they were a bid stealer. Like New Mexico, unless they won the Mountain West tournament, wasn't getting into the field. I found that pretty insane. They've been a little bit of an inconsistent team this year, but they missed Mashburn for a good chunk of the season. Their second best player, probably. This is a Friday tip, 3:10 on True TV. This is one of the 5 to 10 games I'm looking forward to the most out of the first weekend. Garen, why don't you start us off with this one? You think we got a potential upset brewing here?
I do. I am going with number 11, New Mexico in this one. I think this is another one that a lot of people are going to find as trendy just because of the fact that they won their conference. And when you see some of their major results throughout the season, you're going to see San Diego State. But I do like what I saw from them playing San Diego State those few times this year. And I don't like what I saw against Clemson or with Clemson this year. I think they're seated a little too high. They looked really bad down the last 10 or so games. They lost 3 of their last 5, and they looked even more poor than that against Boston College in the ACC tournament. They just were slow. They couldn't make shots, and they relied too much on their guard play, which isn't that good to begin with, considering they have their best player is a big man. So I got the Lobos who rank top 25 in scoring, and I think House and Mashburn are the 2 guards. They're going to try and speed up the Tigers, and they end up winning this one because they play fast, and Clemson doesn't. Pretty simple cut there.
I think I'm the only one that's rolling with the higher seed here in Clemson. I'm going to take them to win this game. Like I said, one of the matchups I'm looking forward to the most. And I was also, like I said, very surprised New Mexico wasn't going to be in unless they won their tournament. I was really high on Clemson early in the season, Joe. I was kind of raving about them. Then they kind of did what Clemson does. They started out, I think, 10-0. Then they started to fall down the stretch a little bit. So this is a interesting spot here. What kind of version of a Clemson team? Clemson, they weren't as at their peak as high as this team, but I kind of compare them like with Wisconsin, where there's a really good team in there somewhere. We saw it at stretches this season. Are they able to recapture that and do that at this point of the year? That still remains to be seen. But they won 8 of 11 to close, but did lose 3 out of their last 4, as you were touching on, Germ. So not a very consistent team. But they are the type of team that can play with anyone or lose to anybody. Nothing will shock me here in this game, regardless of the outcome. I'm going to take the Tigers, though. One of my things that I've been doing in the bracket so far, fading the conference tournament winners who needed the automatic qualifier. They needed really to use everything that they had just to make it here. And they're facing now a much more rested Clemson team. Coin flip game, but I'm going to go with the Tigers. But New Mexico is going to be a fun watch if you haven't seen them this year. 4 players that average at least 12.5 points per game, with Jalen House leading the way at 16.1 points per game. And the Lobos are 7-2 on the year when House scores 20 or more. So fun team that can fill it up, but Clemson, they got some experienced guys. I'm going to take them in an upset here, technically, on the betting market. Joe, Lobos, why are you rolling with them?
Yeah, I'm going with the Lobos here just because I think that they have so much momentum on their side. I know, Coyle, we were talking about, and I'm kind of contradicting myself, like, these couple of days off might kill that momentum. But, I mean, you look kind of like how we were saying, Clemson kind of found it again, but then losing 3 of their last 4. Getting smoked by Boston College, the fact that Boston College even gets to have an athletic department is disgusting and gross. And I think that this Clemson team, too many times, we talked about them, their inconsistency and their highs and lows, it almost seems like they're kind of going back down again. Mm-hmm. And I'm just going to kind of buy New Mexico here, not necessarily because I think they're that much better, just because, if I had to close my eyes and pick which team I trust more, I trust New Mexico to go out and get a win rather than Clemson.
Last one.
Yeah, I think Clemson plays well when Joe Girard plays well. I mean, the 2 bigs inside are pretty consistent. PJ Hall is one of the better players in the ACC. I just don't see New Mexico's guards letting Joe Girard get loose here to win the game, so I'm going to go with New Mexico. Really balanced attack. I think, the 3s will beat the 2s inside here from Clemson's bigs. Clemson's kind of a boring team to watch in the half court. They don't move a lot. They throw it inside a lot and get isolations one-on-one in the post. I think New Mexico will be ready, and like Joe alluded to, the momentum here. I think they're going to ride that into the tournament, maybe peel off a couple wins here.
Yeah, the main thing that I've been hearing through some of the podcasts I've been listening to is they're worried about Gerard's defense against these New Mexico guards. He might kind of get beat up where he was able to hide in that zone the past few years. But will that get exposed here? I don't know. I was riding Clemson at the beginning of the year. I feel like I can't go away from them now. But I also really like New Mexico State. It might be a game. I think I'm going to take the over. I think it's like 150.5. I think that one should be a good one with some high level shot makers in that game.